So the brain develops from the bottom to the top and from the inside out. So the very bottom of our brain is the first thing that develops. And it's also sequential. That means if the bottom part doesn't develop correctly, neither will any layer above that. It's like building a house. If you don't build a good foundation, it doesn't really matter what your walls look like. They're going to have problems. So the foundation is the most important part when it starts developing, because if that is not built correctly, nothing above it's going to function correctly. So the brainstem is going to be the first thing that develops, and it starts to develop immediately upon conception. And it starts to develop from the sensory input coming in to that brain. And that input is going to be mom's heart rate, mom's breathing, mom's movements, everything about mom, where she is in her brain. If she's living in the survival parts of her brain, then that brain stem is going to say, okay, I'm going to need all these neurons here in my brain stem, where I can be really concerned about my survival.
Anything that we think of as sort of automatic, breathing, heart rate, appetite, all of those things that tend to be sort of automatic functions in our body, those happen in the brainstem.
And as we move up, the diencephalon is the part of our brain that controls our movement. So if the brainstem doesn't develop appropriately, the movement is going to be inhibited. It's going to be really hard to find rhythm in your movement if you have a dysregulated brainstem. And then after that is the limbic system. A limbic system is the part of my brain that is mainly responsible for emotions, for attachment, for relationship. So if the diencephalon or the brainstem are dysregulated, it's going to affect my emotion and my attachment and my relationships.
We use the word connection a lot. Talk about what we really want to have happen in our, bless you, to happen in our relationships, right? So connection to what's happening with me, myself, and then connection to others. And that's really a limbic system activity.
Yeah.
Connection and relationship.
And if all those areas develop appropriately, then the neocortex is going to develop. And that's the part that does concrete and abstract thought. So like a kid in a classroom at school, what part of his brain do you think needs to be engaged so that they can learn what they're teaching them in school? The neocortex.
Actually, if all of us had a fully engaged brain and neocortex all the time, all life's problems would just go away.